And it gets worse, guys.
I just woke up. I got an email from EBT. I used to get $740 a month for my two kids. And we not getting EBT no more. They took the EBT. They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the out of here. This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for us. They work for me. They gotta help me feed my kids. Get the out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be quitters now. Y'all been helping us all this time. Now y'all want to tap out. Get the out of here. I want my EBT, yo. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody. I'm a boss. What the look like working when the government is here to help? Come on, y'all send all that money to Iraq, Ukraine. Y'all funding all these wars, but when it's time to help the Americans, y'all don't want to help us.
Man,
I baptize you in the name of Jesus. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord.
here's what I'll say. One thing I have discovered is that these struggle EBT single daddies are 1,000 times worse than the women. Shout out to Jay Prince. Y'all men are worse than the women, the EBT men. Y'all ain't worth a damn. Watching a man talk like this makes me angry and violent. Like, what are you doing? What?
Mr. X, thank you. Violent. That's what I feel. Enraged. Like, I love my brother. I'm my brother's keeper. If I'm in the house with this ninja, he talking like this, I got to give him like at least a swift punch to the gut, make him stop whining like this. Brother, you got to stop. Like, maybe you just need to duke it out and get this B up out your system. But we can't be acquaintances and you acting like this, ninja.
That man is not fearing hunger. He is fearing hard work. Like, he is fearing that he got to go to work.
Right. He work for nobody.
Yeah, he said, I don't work for nobody. I'm a boss. A boss of what? You know, like, what are we even talking about? Like, this is too wild. And this is what happens when we let a lot of people, you know, come in and get all these benefits and stuff. And then when it cancels out, they just think that everything is supposed to be given to them for free. And yes, this is a free country, but you still have to work for the things that you have. And I'm not saying that there aren't people who need EBT and government assistance. There definitely is, but there are people like this. You can get up. You look like a able-bodied man. You can go get a job somewhere. You just don't want to work.
This the same man that's gonna be up here talking about these women won't submit to me. Yeah, they won't listen to me. They won't let me leave. I'm a king. Ninja, shut up and go wash your drawers.
So this is what Beans was advocating for.
more or less.
I mean, and this is FUBAR, lobotomy, egregious. That part, all of that is horrible. Like, really? Like, so, but this, to see this after seeing the Beans debacle on Truth Over Lies was just like chef's kiss, because this is exactly what y'all were saying was the problem. If people need assistance, okay, there's no problem in helping them, but the abuse erodes at the integrity 2%. Of the programs.
2%. Bean said it's only 2%. Y'all want to talk about 2%.
I mean, regardless is if it's 2%, 5%, 10%, if you're eroding the integrity of the program based on claiming benefits that you don't deserve because you actually can work, then you're just a sorry MFer. And we don't support that. We're not saying that we don't support women and children getting milk, bread, and eggs if they need it. What we're not willing to support is people like this man getting on the internet telling everybody that we work for him and that we're his subordinates and he's our boss. Absolutely not.
Yeah, and what is he teaching his kids? Like, he's the primary caretaker, have custody of the kids. What are you teaching your kids, especially if you have sons? Like, you're running around here just complaining about the EBT and stuff. You're not getting off your A and doing anything about it. What are you teaching your boys and even your daughter if she's looking for a man? Like, man up and do something.
Nothing. You're not teaching them anything. Nothing worth learning. That's why Mr. X and me get enraged at these guys. We grew up around these guys, and when you grow up and you realize how hard and difficult it is to grow into a man, and you like, wait a minute, y'all ninjas weren't really men. Like, that is enraging. It's like, y'all won't worth a dang. Should go back and start accosting y'all.
All these wars, but when I'm a boss, what the look like working? When the government is here to help. Come on, y'all send all that money to Iraq, Ukraine, y'all funding all these wars.
So what's y'all point on that? That's the talking point. All right. People are saying, how can't you feed U.S. citizens, but y'all send money to our different countries, Iraq, Argentina? That's the latest one. Y'all say Argentina, 20 billion. Why can't you feed us? Regardless of what y'all about to say, I don't care what the deal is. We Americans.
Understood. Here we go. We're going to give you the brass facts. The United States does not put money and resources into something they can't get something out of. That's where we are. And I keep telling y'all, they have deemed a lot of us as useless eaters. Useless. Emphasis on the word useless. But Argentina, Iraq, whatever, they got oil, gold, oil, and oil. All right. United States, like, I need that up off you. So I'm going to send you bread so I can get in good with you. Then I'm going to come get all that. That's the United States way. Why we so confused?
Argentina got them soybeans. That's what they got. Everybody want
They
that
got
soy.
grapes, they got wine, they got money. You don't go to war. When people go to war, the number one thing is to make money. So wars generate very massive amounts of money and currency around the entire world. What does it benefit the United States to feed a whole bunch of poor people that aren't going to give back to the system?
Whoa, cattle. Whoa, come on. I like the way y'all connect dots, because here in the U.S., we're getting rid of a lot of farmland. Bill Gates banned up a lot of farmland. They're getting rid of the cattle. So we trying to outsource our beef? Okay. Yeah.
Soy can make you meat. Soy can make anything.
Fake meat.
It's a plastic.
Like I said in the chat, America is a big producer of soy. We produce a lot of soy ourselves. So, but at what rate? Obviously, a country like Argentina, when they can do it for a cheaper rate. But
there you go, cheaper rate. But I think we produce a lot. What's our two main crops? I think is corn and soy.
Yeah. But nonetheless, like y'all saying, cattle. It's a lot going on. All right, pay attention.
Y'all funding all these wars, but when it's time to help the Americans, y'all don't want to help us.
So here you have this man. And again, this guy went viral, especially among some of the conservative media sites. And this is a man that has 2 kids. His SNAP benefits are $740 a month. And he says he's not going to get a job. And that other Americans, like people like yourself, are paying so that he and his kids can eat. All right? Now, when we talk about SNAP benefits, I want to discuss this because Republicans are always going to use this to their advantage. And again, I do understand that people need help, but here's what I think that the SNAP benefits or anything like welfare should be used for. Number one, people should be looking to be self-reliant and work first. Okay. Now, programs like SNAP should promote independence and not being dependent. And when you see a man like him who is, you're working age, you seem to be healthy, you can get out and work, you're refusing to work. That's the problem. And some of these ladies also may not.
And O'Shea hit on something that I said the other day, which is my biggest issue, is the dependency of it all, right? That's what it comes down to. It does not, promote you to want to be better. And for the people that come up here, we are not talking as it's sad we gotta say, disabled people or children or, the handicap. If that's your argument, that you're being disingenuous. All right, if your only pushback is if that's what the other side is, y'all know we ain't talking about them.
But what about them? Huh? Some of them may be hybrids. Some of them may be lazy and entitled, but also may be a little supply closet kids.
Oh, this guy here, he will say he's disabled. It's like, dude, maybe mentally. The thing is, y'all can't work the jobs y'all want. You might not be able to be a doctor or a lawyer, but you can greet people at Walmart, but they don't want to do it.
You could clean office garbage cans. That's why I have no pity on nobody. When my football career came to an end, I found myself cleaning garbage cans in the office, in the doctor's office. and it was definitely a low, but like I said, it was temporary. Like, you can't be too good for anything. I love the way KS put it. He said he was talking to some pathetic brother on the line. He said, Ninja, can you walk? Do you have use of all your limbs? Go do something, anything.
Oh,
Walk
here's
around.
Bonquisha. Bonquisha say, I can't go work that job, Mr. Walker, for $12 an hour. It don't make sense. Now, how I'm going to lose some of my benefits. I'm going to have to pay for child care. I'm going to have to pay. It don't even start. The math don't be mathing.
And that makes sense. That was the case. That's why we understand this dependency.
Find to ride to work, babysitters. What you talking about?
Now, food stamps gone. Now you don't have no choice. Folks gonna start figuring this out real soon. All this consolidating, folks should have been doing. All of these daughters should have been moved in with the moms. All of the aunties should have all been consolidated. So whatever kids need to be watched, a couple folks can go out to the road and work, mama and daughter, and then bring back the spoils.
Oh, you asking for sacrifice?
Yes,
will not happen, Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker asking for folks to sacrifice.
Fuck is you talking about?
Y'all listen. I'm giving it to you best I can. Y'all remember Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Remember how my man Charlie was living? Charlie and them in that crooked ass house. That's about to be. I'm gonna pull it up. That's real. It was something. I don't know why that image always stuck in the back of my head. The way my crack baby brain works, whenever things they trigger my attention, if they don't make sense, I file it back here. That Charlie house, I was like, that's so dark. And it's gonna come to life. Y'all gonna be living like Charlie with y'all uncle, never get out the bed, sharing chocolate bars and Reese's cups.
Right.
People gonna be doing whatever they gotta do. You gonna move back in with your mom. You gonna move in with your sister. All that, I want my own space and this and that. I mean, you get whatever that you put out in the world. So if you're getting kicked out or you can't afford something or you lose your job, whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. So people are gonna be doing that. If not, they're going to suffer. So they're not going to have a choice. This is not the time for I can't or I won't.
And I think that they need to restructure the whole SNAP benefits and government assistance in the first place, because they encourage people to not work. Like say, for example, you just need help with healthcare or just a little bit of food stamps. Like I'm working and stuff. They will tell you if you just quit your job, you'll qualify for everything. So they structure it so that you will be dependent on them, and that needs to change. You know, I've seen it happen firsthand. So they'll tell you if you just quit, then you qualify for childcare, Section 8, rent paid, food stamps, medical, all that. And so it's not designed for you to get back on your feet. It's designed for you to be in this cycle for generations, and that's why we are where we are today.
Because if you start making too much, they will cut you off. I've told you, you work an hour more than you can a week. That's what cut me off in college. Gone. You got to stay at this threshold, because you start working more and we giving you food stamps. You're going to work your way out the system. You're going to progress. Nope. Got to stay here.
That part. And like say, got to move pawpaws back in the house. We seen that, a while ago when we were doing our work. It was with a white woman though. And she had her dad living. He was like in a mud room. It was very depressing. Mr. Walker started talking about the Willy Wonka stuff, and all the kids, she had kids, all the bedrooms was taken. So it was what it was. He had somewhere to live. He had like that little cot, and me and Mr. Walker looked like, man, we looked down. He was the alcoholic, drunk dad, but he was there. He was resourceful. All right. She said, I ain't home, but my dad home. He'll meet y'all. All right. So he was there. He was making stuff smack, taking the dogs out so they can poop. All the good stuff.
It was bad. Like I said, he had a little makeshift room in the mud room, enclosed mud room. And what made it worse, his daughter's room was right above his. She had Nug boyfriend.
And she had a black boyfriend. It was all bad. So he had to live that. He had to live that. His daughter up. Yeah, it was rough.
Whoo, Doug.
Nonetheless, we here now. We here.
It's dark. It's dark.
Not be working. Even the lady in the beginning clip, she had a job at Walmart, and we already know that Walmart is, not a high paying job, but she's working. And they said, hey, listen, man, if you want to keep your SNAP benefits, you need to work 20 hours a week. And the guy is refusing to work. And so what happens is people get on SNAP and then they don't want to work. You know, they're not contributing to the economy. They're not contributing to the workforce. And it just really looks bad, okay? Also, people are going to look at the spending discipline. People are going to say, listen, the SNAP program is too large, right? Like, why are we spending all this money on the SNAP program? And as we know, I see it all the time in the 80s and 90s, especially in black communities like Del Paso Heights, or if you lived in LA, Compton, and California, you would see people who.
And that's another thing people are saying. I guess that's another point where they're saying, why are you spending all this money on the program when people say in the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot of money. All right. Now that's why y'all sitting them 200 billion, y'all sitting this there. And then they start trying to compare and they're like, it's not a lot of money as far as the budget or any of this stuff that what goes into it. That it's not, whether you cut it or not, it's not going to like save anything, right? Not like, oh, it's going, you cutting 28% in the budget or 50% in the budget. People are saying such a small percentage. It really, what are you doing? It's the same amount of money you give to different countries.
Gotta understand the United States way to make it all make sense. That's all. United States, they're not a land run by bankers and thugs. They're not giving away resources for nothing. If you ask me, this whole food stamps thing, you know, was for votes. A lot of this stuff would be for votes. Like they say, okay, the Democrats say we're gonna give you all these never-ending food stamp programs, and guess what? Black folks love the Democrats to the moon and above, to the point where we got to turn vote blue no matter who. This is my belief. Like, just no, get rid of these daggone food stamps because it's a hindrance. Just get rid altogether. It's unfortunate, but some folks ain't gonna make it. My head coach hated that saying that my defensive coordinator used to always say. Everybody ain't gonna make it. There will be casualties. That's the problem. We so soft and you know, just marshmallows nowadays. We think that there is a plan for everyone to succeed. And I keep telling y'all, we keep telling y'all, the government has deemed a large portion of us useless eaters. What do you think their plan is for these useless eaters? You think they're gonna continue to coddle them or try to eradicate them?
If you're a country that is in debt, like you have a mortgage, you throw an extra $200 on your mortgage a month. Is that beneficial to you?
Yeah, to pay extra on your mortgage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pay it up.
Okay. So if they cut all of this unnecessary spending on the food stamp program, they can put that money towards the debt. So like it's just like anything. It's just like any other freaking budget. When you're budgeting your household, when you decide to make another child and to feed, and you think in your mind, this is how much money we bring home a month, right? Now, we've been spending an extra $200 on my new fancy run flat tires or whatever the frick you've been doing with, some of your throw around money. This money that they're giving to, food programs, because it is so minuscule, that's why it's not important to them. It's like, okay, yeah, it's on the lower end of everything else that we're spending, when the first thing you do is you cut off that part that you really don't need. You know what I'm saying? Like you need tires, but they don't have to be run flat tires, right? So you'll get the tires that'll do. So you'll pay for the people that, whatever the economists think is the proper number to pay for care for these people. So they'll minus it from like the 60 million to 40 million. Okay, so now they have the 40 million people locked in. They don't give a damn about the other 20 million. They don't care. That
Right.
20 million has knocked off some of their deficit. That's what they're looking at us like. We are a numbers game. You got to get in where you fit in, and you can't, like, being at the poverty line isn't safe. You just shouldn't be there. Like, I tried to work this out in my master's program. They were telling me, you cannot figure out this problem, Raquel, because economists from the 1930s can't figure out this problem for the rest of the world. There's no one set way to work this out so that the people that are impoverished can get a fighting chance. There is no way. There is just always going to be poor people in the system. That
Exactly.
doesn't mean because there are poor people in the system, we should go in debt for them. That is what they're thinking like, whether they're humans or not. It's just not that important to them. For them, it's more important to make sure that the Mr. Gavin X's and the Mr. Walkers get the tax benefits that they need so that they can
Whoa,
keep on being
don't put
productive.
us on that side.
But
We ain't get-
I'm just saying, like it behooves the government to give buyouts to Fords or Targets or Walmarts, because these are the people that keep the people that are making money able to live and sustain the lives, buy houses, stock them with food, put their children in private education. Those buyouts are for them because those are the families that keep the country with the lights on. It's not the poor people keeping the lights on of America.
Well,
So
a
when
lot of
Mr.
people,
Beans gets up here and talks like this, it's like you're advocating for people that aren't keeping the lights on.
well, I'll say this. I'll say people are giving the analogy. I seen one guy talking, and like I said, they said it's such a minuscule thing in the budget. All right, we got to get the budget down. You would think they would go to defense or something where there's major money being spent. But what they are comparing it to is like saying, I'm in debt. I got $10,000 in credit card debt. All right. And you drive a Lamborghini out front that you paying 5,000, whatever. And you first thing you think of is to cancel your Netflix subscription. And everybody, what's that? But I guess every dollar counts when it comes to it, right?
I
That's
mean,
the
what did
deal.
you cut off when you had your last baby? What you know, you see what I'm saying? Like when there are things that need to be done, there are just some cuts that you make. We all do
Yes,
this.
I agree. Like you said, that's above a lot of our pay grade. Whatever, y'all need to vote better. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So that is what it is.
Right. And, to what you're saying, Gavin, just about voting better and stuff. And with this whole crisis and everything, let's just say they give everybody back their food stamps and stuff. That should not just be enough for them to get your vote. Like you have to dig deeper than just your food stamps and dig deeper in things that are going to benefit your families and your lineage and everything. And so just by you getting your food stamps again, that shouldn't give the vote. You have to dig deeper, and they have to be doing something for you in order for them to get your vote.
Who would have more kids, just because they know that they could stay on it and they didn't want to get off and get a job and do things like this. And so basically what you're doing is you're framing the culture for certain people to say, listen, it's okay to be immoral and you don't need to work or take care of your family or have responsibility because the government will take care of you. Also, you can continue having kids without fatherless households. You can basically be dependent on welfare. And then because of your own bad decisions, you're saying that you're going to steal. You wish somebody would come out there and stop you from stealing because you're going to go head on and do this. I mean, you just sound crazy. You sound ridiculous. Like if somebody were to look at Americans talking like this and you're from a country in which you want to work and you can't get a job, and you hear somebody saying that if I don't get my food stamps, I'm going to run up in the store. Who's going to stop me? When there's people, like literally people every day going to visa embassies, trying to get into America, working 2 or 3 jobs, trying to get education. I mean, here in Uganda, you have a very difficult time trying to find a good paying job or a very difficult time finding education. And then you have Americans who are able-bodied and you don't want to go out there and get a job or get an education. And then when immigrants can get into America, they take the opportunities that you may not want to take. All of a sudden, some people have a problem with this. Like, again, what kind of pride do you have? Americans work hard, and it's not fair for the people who are working so that you can stay on your SNAP benefits and do nothing all day, be in the room with your man all day, eating, honey buns, whatever the hell you eating, while Americans got to go out there and work their ass off just so that you can eat for free. Like, have some pride in your damn self. And I know certain people are going to come back.
Well, here we go. That's what I'm about to say. Let's stop it for a minute. I mean, O'Shea's given the context of somebody who's not from America who can move here and take advantage. And do they got the right to look at Black Americans and say, y'all need to pick yourselves up? Look, I made it. America is great. or did we come through a different struggle? And do they got the right to come here and say, look, that's a lot?
No, they don't. Now no, they don't. That is insensitive and cruel to a point, because what I've learned, a lot of foreigners, Africans coming from the continent, or as Kendra would say, the country, they don't really understand our struggle. They don't know nothing about the war on drugs, the crack epidemic. So yeah, they just see us as lazy good for nothings, and they speak on. But you're right, no, they don't. If you can identify with our struggle and can't empathize, then don't speak on it at all.
Yeah, and what they fail to realize is we built this whole entire country. We were the laborers that started everything. And so, yeah, we fought for certain rights. We put in the work. We were, fighting in the streets for our freedom and everything. So, yeah, you guys have your own struggles in your own country, but we fought to have the things that we have. So we're not fighting just to not shit in the streets, like we have bathrooms over here. So your struggle is not really our struggle. We fought for different things. And so we're after different things than you. You just for you to have just running water and all that stuff is that's something that you're fighting for. We've been had that. We're trying to get reparations and all sorts of other things. So our struggle is a little bit different. So yeah.
They say you Americans, you complain about EBT. I come here with nothing. I own gas station.
Yeah, because you're giving stipends and incentives. We aren't. We are quite the opposite. You born here, you are born at a deficit. You come here with our same shade of skin, but you from a different country, they give them things, man. There was rumors out here that some of these Hispanic families was getting like $20,000 in like food stamps and cash assistance. It's definitely a different way they go about treating us that's already here than folks that come in. Like I said, they got us. That's what the United States is all about, leverage. They got us. We here. Now they want y'all. So they're going to be nice to y'all until they get y'all too. And once they get y'all, then they going to shun you as they are doing. Hence ICE.
Yeah, and they come over and they get their business licenses, and a lot of times they set it up in our neighborhoods and everything. So they are given certain things that we don't even we could never even get just because of who we are. So yeah, it's something. So
and I will say a lot of us don't want it either. There are a lot of things that are at our hands and feet, and sometimes we don't want it. So you leave food on the table, somebody gonna eat it.
There you go. That too, Anna.
And I kind of hit on that before about why don't the women do each other's nails and stuff like that? We need to get back to that. That's part of this whole EBT. All of this come together. Stop supporting they nail shops and they all you can eat buffets. To hell with that.
They won't do it though. This is what gets me mad, because all of this girls stuff, I know for a fact in every hood in every hood near y'all, there is a sister or a couple sisters that can do nails better than any mingling out there. But her community won't support her because they too familiar and they got hatred and jealousy. That drives me nuts. Like, shout out to Raquel, y'all girls, until y'all think y'all friend about to do better than y'all. Now you just want everything for free. That triggers me, man.
Yeah, me and my cousin, I told you guys before, we were about to start a nail salon. It's called the Tip Drill Nail Salon during COVID. So yeah, we had a name and everything. So yeah, and I learned how to do nails and stuff during COVID because we couldn't go get our nails done. So
should still try. Like, listen here, man. Those Cooties 19 ideas used to be hitting, man.
Yeah. And reframe this as being racist, but if being black equals staying on SNAP and staying on welfare, yeah, that's not the kind of black that we want. We as a community, again, I know things happen, and again, I've been in situations where my family had got them welfare cheese blocks before, but no, we was on there for a little bit and we got off that shit, right? Because we were proud. I work every single day of my life for whatever I get, and I'm proud to work. I'm blessed to work. Even here, you know what I mean? And many people in America are blessed to work. I get it that times are hard and you basically don't want to be without your food stamps, but where was the plan for you to get off? I'm not hearing none of these people talking like they had an opportunity to get off. They wanted to get off. No, you've been just abusing the system, and so now the system may not be there. Now you're upset. I'm telling you right now, a lot of these people in America, especially if you get more right-leaning governments, they're going to cut all this stuff, all right? They've already cut DEI, okay? They're trying to cut Social Security. You're going to have to get out there and win. You're going to go out there and win big time. That's what it's like. And America got so many opportunities for people to get out there and win if they want to try. You can. And nobody is stopping you. All right. I literally live in a country where it is so difficult to even get a job that pays $200 a month. All right. And you got people who can go to school. You got people who can get educated. You got people who can do all of this stuff in America, and you don't want to do it. And you want to fight for $700 a month in food stamps when you can just get so much more. And you're a man talking like this?
He's right, you know. I
just don't get it. For the life of me, it can't make any sense that a grown ass man and a woman that has a husband or a man would sit back and just say, we're going to take these SNAP benefits and we're going to fight for this. And if you don't give this to us, we're going to steal. It's a damn joke.
Well, the thing is, they've been getting it for so long. So it's a conditioning process. Yes. They have been conditioned to not pay for food and to get this money on this card every month, like clockwork. You're like, all right, they don't even check anymore. They don't have to call and check. They know the money is there. They just go into the store.
Made it too easy. That's all. And I hate this for our people, man. Live this. I've been through, I had the misfortune of living through, all of the food stamp eras for the most part, except for this last one, the early ones with the actual paper. And they just made it too easy. Like Miss X is saying, you used to have to go get your book or whatever. The book came in the mail. Yeah, people used to steal food stamps books. Oh my goodness, it's coming back. Somebody messed around, steal your food stamp book, but they had numbers on them. So you could, your food stamp book, I think had the name and stuff, but the numbers was for you. But we made these handouts, whether they are needed or not. It is a handout. We made it too easy to acquire. Like you just get it. And what is it? Just like kids. I guess kids and adults are the same. We all search. We take the course least resistance. I can get my necessities and there's no resistance. I don't have to work. I don't have to be disciplined. I don't have to have structure. I'm gonna take that route.
And I think what we're gonna see here in the future is more like food pantries and more giveaways and more of these, drop-off zones. Hey, if you want this, come pick it up. I've been seeing this stuff for years by my house. There's a church and they got this big old parking lot. It's all through churches. Let's get this clear. It's gonna be all through churches and government funds. And I'll say they always over there, they have fire trucks and police. And they still advertising. I be seeing it on Facebook that, hey, they got one coming up here in the next month. They're like, hey, we know y'all ain't getting food stamps. Come to the bank. There'll be cars lined up. I think they gonna start giving you your food, like you said, beans, rice, or whatever it is.
We got one. It's called Center for Hope. You got, like you say, you got a big old parking lot, and it's always folks out there. Like, I think because of social media, always flashing, people living good and shiny lives, we have really lost touch with just how many poor and impoverished people live around us and just are living, period. We really think everybody out here making $50,000 and above, 6 figures. No, man. Shout out to Beans. I like what he said. Not average income, median income. I like that. Because their averages aren't real. But when you say median, so if the median income is $32,000, half of the people in the United States making under that, half are making more. You can get some data. So that's pretty intense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the opposite. I think that people will feel sorry for people for a little while, and then it'll be just like how it was when the the wall came down in West Germany. You feel a bit of sorrow for the East Germans that have to come into your society. Um, and that lasts for about 48 hours. And then people got to get it how they live. Nobody's going to, after the cameras go away, and, just like how, news goes viral and then it's like the topic of discussion for about a week or two, and then it falls off. It'll be a topic of discussion for a while, and then people will grow tired of the poor like they always do, and they'll find a way to lock them up or put them in to crazy places. This is what they do. Or they'll find a way to go and dump them somewhere else, just like when Alabama is coming to play in your city. What do? They come and scoop up all the old people that are homeless off the street, and they put them somewhere else in your city. They go and dump them somewhere else so that the people that are coming in to spend that good roll tide money aren't affected by the panhandlers on the street. They'll just move the panhandlers out of the way. They'll move the water boys out of the way for a period of time. They'll seep back in, and then they'll move them again. And it'll just be a get out of my face. We don't want to see you. That's what it's going to become. It'll be like that movie Total Recall. Y'all remember that at the end of that movie? Like it's just going to be the new normal, that you see all these people panhandling and you just go the other way, or you just move away from there. That's what's going to happen.
I think if things get that bad, we all screwed, because they gonna start doing insurrection acts and
Like
marching.
the purge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning, I hope they send them out. Yeah, I don't have no problem with Bonquisha getting her food stamps if it comes down to living in a purge type world, which we more than likely will. Like I said, I get it what happened in the past in different countries. In this country here, there are too many firearms. Everybody got a firearm. It ain't so simple, especially maybe for the military, not for the civilians, people like y'all ladies on this panel. It's not so simple. You will have to be in the house or up under your husband at all times. So this is, y'all don't want to live in that world. I would rather Bonquisha get $300 in food stamps and they figure it out.
Amen. I agree, because I have said before, yes, we've been through hard times before, Dust Bowl, Great Depression, all that stuff that we weren't alive for. But what we do know is this is the softest humans have been, the most entitled, the most coddled. They can't deal with downsizing, and they showing it. Bonquisha talking about going to the grocery store, making $10 stretch, and she's still buying pre-prepared chicken. That should speak volumes. If you are poor trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, you got to buy everything raw. You can't buy nothing cooked. You can't afford for people to cook your food. They too soft. So yeah, they not eating. I said it. They gonna start cannibalizing one another. I ain't going out. Ain't nobody allowed going outside from the Walker household. It's over. Give it a couple weeks. Let it die down.
The West Germans did not want the East Germans in their society. You have to think of all of the people they were letting out of East Germany. These were people that worked under the guy with the big H name. They did not want to let those people in, and then to be civilized towards them, it was bad. Like, people thought it was going to be this kind of thing like what we're talking about now, a civil war. It wasn't, but did those East Germans, did they have it easy? No, they did not have it easy. They got hustled. They got scammed. Like, the things that are going to happen to the people on the EBT, like if they don't get their EBT, they're going to have to resort to other ways to getting food. So that's going to make them more vulnerable to scams getting set up, maybe some type of, indentured servitude. Bonquisha, that kudakata, you're going to have to do more than sling that kudakata. I need you back here plowing the dirt to get my carrots, sow these carrots up, sow these bean seeds, the soybean stuff. So yeah, that's what happens when we get like this, because if a woman isn't under some man's coverage, she ends up in those kind of servitude type positions. So yeah, if you don't have a man to protect you at home, you're going to have to get under some man's coverage, and that man might not have the best interest, for your future. He might just have you for that servitude. That's scary too. And that's
Yeah,
what East German women had to do. They had to find a West German man. They had to find some coverage.
There you
So
go.
all the West German women were like, here come these beautiful East German women that are rail thin because they haven't had a potato in 5 months. I mean, it was some drama, y'all. It was crazy. So this is what America's going to see now. The
Yeah, but
haves and have-nots.
America's just too big. Like I said, Germany's the size smaller than Texas, probably. So we just got a bigger problem. It's a much bigger problem we facing here. All right. And like I said, the East Germans or whatever, people were not armed to the T. All right. It was a different world. These people now, these are your neighbors. It ain't like they live way over there and we've separated. No, I don't think y'all understand. I get it. I don't know. I've been some dark places. I know where I've been there. Y'all would not want to live near me if I wouldn't get my stamps. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, see, there, that's the perspective. Yes. Yeah, I know what Nug thinking. Done been, in unfortunate circumstances, done been in it. I ain't about to sit here snitch on myself on camera, but yes, we know what we talking about. We know exactly what we talking about. Shout out to my man Anthony Hamilton. Sometimes you gotta do a little wrong to get right. Thank you, God, for protecting us.
And that's the thing. I know you were talking about the nail shops and different things with the systems they have in place, but you got to realize a lot of the Black families, a lot of us are so broken up, so we don't have the systems. Just like a lot of farmers, they don't like white Americans or Black Americans on their farm because we don't have a system in place where we actually work together. You got a lot of the Black women, like they think they better than a lot of the Black men. All their trauma, they put it on towards the Black men. So until we can get to that, that's going to be a hard place to even start. We got to look for a start because right now we don't even have a light right now. Like the light's not there. It's just not. And the government, they will never fix poverty. They will manage it. They have no goal in sight to fix it at all. And the women are going to be the ones to find out first, because all of that feminist stuff they've been listening to is about to all come crashing in the wall. And you got to think, a lot of them, they're just not taught to get along with anybody. A lot of women don't get along with their mothers. They don't get along with their family members. I mean, you had it before when people used to live next to their family. Now people live on a whole other side of town, or they live in another state. So they don't have the unity they used to have to even begin to build something.
Yeah, and Anna, you're right. It's right now in our culture, we have just the power structure, like who's going to be in charge. But maybe this breakdown is what it's going to take in order for the women to realize, yes, we need the men just for basic protection and provision. And, we can't do this by ourselves, especially if our society is not under attack, but, a potential hazard. We need men around. So maybe this is what it's going to take in order for women to kind of fall in line and get up under some instruction as a whole. Like, it's so important. So you're right, Anna.
I agree. Yeah, that was it right there, Anna. Hopefully they'll see. I think we're so disconnected with how this thing works. Like the powers to be don't like feminism. Gotta identify if you are a target in this thing. If you are poor, you are feminist. Yeah, the powers don't like feminism. No, the conquering Viking man, he hates that. And I believe if he can do something to, wean us out of that era, he would do it. And it's kind of like a coverall, cutting food stamps, getting rid of single mamahood. Hey, plan accordingly. I don't know what else to say. It's going to get dark.
And I would say in this case, shout out to my guy, Leon King. Men like Leon King, this has been the moment in history they've been waiting on, where you can turn mere mortals into gods overnight.
Welcome to the warlord god, Leon King.
This right here will get me some tonight. But I don't want it. Not for this. Not with this. That. I don't want no pussy with this. This right here is paper. You want to? That's my rent. Hold on.
Yeah, Ninja. Yeah, I was about to say tear it into little pieces. Yeah, set it on fire.
This right here.
Do it.
This right here.
Do it.
This right here.